What's going on, gang? Happy Sunday, happy Sunday. We back at it. We doing it. Because if we don't get it done, then who the hell else will, man? It's your boy Phantm Phuego. Phantm Phuego. And you are listening to the news, views, previews, and reviews. With just the twist of his ghetto point of view. Thank you so much, as always, guys, for tuning in each and every week. If this is your first time listening to the show, welcome. Thank you so much for rocking and choosing to vibe out. It's always a very interesting experience, his ghetto point of view. And if you haven't done so already, please make sure to set your notifications. Make sure to favorite the show, like, subscribe, whichever platform you're on, however they set it up, so you can get notified when new episodes of the show come on. Make sure you set that notification bell. Make sure you favorite the show, like the show, subscribe to the show. Different platforms have different rules about those things. So whichever platform you're listening on, whether it be Anchor, Spotify, Tidal, Google, Apple, Overcast, Republic, thank you so much. I can't say enough times thank you so much. Please continue to share the show out. Please continue to tell a friend to tell a friend. His ghetto point of view rocks out Wednesdays and Sundays. So how's y'all week been? My week has been absolutely interesting, and I hope you guys had a hell of a great week too. I really do. I hope you guys felt blessed and stayed positive and, kept your head above water, because, it's real easy to get under the fray and put your gloves on and start swinging at everybody, man, woman, child, people in your own household. As Jesus was saying, your own bed, man, your enemies to be these days. Jesus. For those who like to read the scriptures and get biblical, man, these is interesting times. These is absolutely interesting times. But we keep our head above water. We keep our head above the fray. We keep swimming. We keep pushing. We keep moving. We keep living. Not just living. We thriving. We ain't just surviving. We doing it with irrefutably remarkable timing. We like Charlie Chaplin pantomiming. Woo! Shout the Cannabis. Cannonball! For my old heads listening in. Nah, I really do appreciate it, man. Everybody that listens into the show and, continues to send me emails, gets up in my DM with all your crazy suggestions, sending me pictures of all type of madness. You guys are wild. His ghetto point of view at gmail.com is the best place to get at us. His ghetto point of view at gmail.com. You have a new product that you'd like to put in front of our audience. His ghetto point of view at gmail.com is the place to get at us. Also, if you're an artist, you want to have some of your music shared with our audiences, his ghetto point of view at gmail.com is also the best place to get at us. But I do appreciate the people that have also been checking in on the social medias. Definitely Instagram is the main place to catch his ghetto point of view right now. His ghetto point of view on Instagram, HGPOV show, his ghetto POV. Any of those, you'll definitely catch the show. Shouts to all the amazing guests that have been coming through. If you haven't done so already, check out this past Wednesday's episode. Reddit Eyes came through. You know what I mean? REDDAZ. Check him out on all platforms. An amazing brother. Gave us an amazing masterclass on branding, marketing, having a good team around you, investing in yourself, and creating a budget for the team members that you don't have, bartering, figuring out ways to make it happen at a higher, more professional, more polished level, not just settling for things to be not as good as they can be if you're really trying to take it to that next level. If you're just doing it, I guess, like he said, man, it really depends on your goals for a project. If your goal is for this to be as big as it can be, whatever that is, whether it be a movie, a new app, a new video game, a new clothing line, opening up a restaurant or a barbershop, however, depending on your goals for that particular venture, you should adjust accordingly. So if your goal is to have it be as big as possible, then you have to get your brain to working at how that can happen, not complaining about what your budget is or isn't, but how you can make it happen. Because once you get your brain to function on how you can make it happen, instead of allowing your brain to just quit, your brain will surprise you and you will come up with ways to make things happen that you never thought possible. Because once you start to envision your reality and think your reality and vision your reality, start to make actions toward that reality, it'll all fall into place. Your thinking, your vision, your actions, investing your time and your energy and your efforts in a physical, mental and spiritual, emotional, psychological, investing, all of those dimensions of your thought, all of your senses, all of your energy, every plane you exist on, if you into all that, you know what I mean? If take all of that and focus on what you can do and what you can accomplish, as opposed to making excuses, you'll be truly surprised at what you can accomplish out here. You'll be truly surprised at what you can accomplish out here. You'll be truly, truly surprised at what you can accomplish out here. It's your boy, Phantm Phuego. I'm so blessed and fortunate to have such amazing people that like to rock with the show. His Ghetto Point of View at gmail.com is where you can get at us. His Ghetto Point of View at gmail.com is where you can get at us. His Ghetto Point of View at gmail.com. With that being said, I'm going to jump into a quick break. We're going to get back to it in one sec. Shit. Yeah, guys, so it's been a really crazy week. First and foremost, I would be remiss in my duties. I wouldn't be Phantm Phuego if we didn't start this thing off talking about that goddamn. Let me calm myself down. If we didn't talk about that goddamn presidential debate. Did y'all see that? Did y'all see that goddamn presidential debate? Now, I will say this. I will start off being fair. I feel both candidates were more organized. I feel both candidates were more composed. I felt both candidates were more seasoned for the second debate. It's like a boxing match where the first round they both was, throwing wild haymakers and stuff, trying to really show up for the crowd and playing to both their bases. But I feel this time, they were like, all right, they had a little instruction from the corner. Their corner man was like, yo, hey, Biden, keep your left up. He throwing haymakers. When he throw the haymaker, come in for the 1-2 combo. Step out. Don't let him grab you. Hey, Trump, he's coming in there throwing jabs. You got a little longer reach. Step back from the jab. Reach over the jab. Throw a wild one. I feel that they listened to their corners a bit more. I feel that it was really more of a technical match for the first while. At the end of it, they started letting their hands loose. They started, the punches just started to fly with a bit more wild fervor, a bit more of a, they would be just letting them all hang loose, especially because I guess they understand that this is the final debate, and we were supposed to have 3. They canceled the second. They got the third. I just think that I think that they let it hang a little more loose as the moments wane. And certain comments started to come out about at the hour mark. So for the last 30 minutes, it started to devolve. Not as much as it did in the first debate, thank goodness. There was definitely a lot more content to be shared, a lot more information to be passed, a lot more to be had. I think both teams did excellent in their goal and getting their goal across. I do think, though, I will have to say, if I have to score for anybody, his ghetto point of view at gmail.com. Feel free to tell me how I'm crazy. I would have to score for Trump. And the reason I would is because of the following. I feel Biden is going to regret how he responded to those oil questions. Whether we like it or not, conservationist or not, somebody that feels we got to save the planet or not, oil is a huge part of this country's natural energy resources, and those energy resources create jobs. Those jobs fuel our economy. That fueled economy is what can drive the country, continue to drive the country forward and continue to sit it in its place among the rest of the powers of the world. We remove oil, or we stop drilling oil without also, as Trump stated, without also making sure that the other countries are also not drilling oil anymore, then you are inherently giving other countries an advantage in resources, which will inherently make their dollars, their capital, their money more valuable than your country's money, because they will be able to back that money by an asset, in this case oil, as they call it in America, the petrodollar, where it is backed by the oil. So if you don't have the oil, what do you plan on ensuring America's position in the world's hierarchy with? What do you plan on doing that with? Yes, we want to go solar. Yes, we'd like to use renewable energies. Yes, we want to go solar and, save the planet. And yes, we want to reduce, reuse, recycle. I'm all about, I watched Captain Planet and the Planeteers when I was little too, man. You know what I'm saying? I'm all about the green solution long term. Short term, though, if we do not have a practical means of continuing to generate the same amount of money, if not more, from a renewable source, and if we cannot get the same amount of jobs from a renewable source right now, because the infrastructure for the renewable sources is just not in place yet, while it is coming along swimmingly, it may not be there at this moment. And that may have been Trump being realistic and practical with the audience, while Biden may have been selling us a pipe dream. And then even in his own statements, he had to relent and admit that it's not there yet. It won't be there within the 4 years of his regime either. So he may put in legislation and remove us from doing oils without having the supplemental industry to replace that. So people will lose jobs. The stock market will be very heavily affected. 401ks, Social Security. I mean, there will be a huge ripple down effect to not having the oil industry, even if he removed it, a quarter of it, and made it fraction at 75% of its normal capacity. You're talking about billions and billions of dollars of a hit. I don't think we understand what we're saying. I don't know if we're ready for that. I don't know how practical that is. You could tell me I'm crazy, I'm cuckoo for cocoa stuff, even thinking Trump is scoring any points. You could tell me Biden won the whole thing. I think Biden had some amazing points as well. I think that unfortunately Biden is being caught in some lies. The fuck you talking about, Phantm Phuego? The F you talking about, Phantm? What you mean he lying? What that mean? That man ain't lied one time up there. I disagree, because he did say that he would have to ban fracking. And I'm not saying, again, fracking is a good thing. We all know that there is an environmental toll to fracking. I'm not oblivious to that fact. What I am saying is, he's been extremely wishy-washy on the subject. Trump won again to me in that regard when he talked about how when he was in Pennsylvania, he made one statement, and now he's flipped back and forth on fracking. He's flipped back and forth on fracking quite a few times. Himself, Kamala Harris, has been very steadfast that they will be banning fracking right away. Then she even flip-flopped. And then AOC, Alexandria Ocasio-Cortez, got at her and said, fracking is bad, actually, in a Twitter, very short yet heated Twitter moment. And again, I love all these people. Shout out to AOC. Shout out to the whole young Democrat movement. We need that new energy. We need some new lifeblood. We need some new people to get in there and shake things up. I'm not mad at none of that. Gotta love that lemon ginger tea. Gotta love the team. You are nothing without your team. You are nothing without your team. If your team ain't right, if you ain't got a good team around you, it's very hard to be what you want to be in this life. It's very hard to do anything in this world. So, shout out to the team. The team is amazing, and I would not be able to score one single basket if they didn't pass me the ball. I would not be able to score one single basket if my teammates did not pass me the ball and give me a good pass, not a sloppy pass, too high, too low. Beautiful bounce, right in my left. I took one hop dribble back, went to my right, scoop, layup, bounce off the glass. You know what I'm saying? But that was all facilitated by great teammates. Somebody set a screen on my man. I was able to get around. Another screen was set, freed me up. I had a crazy mismatch going. I got to the basket. You know what I'm saying? But it wouldn't be without the team. So much love always to the team. Much love. Let your teammates know you love them, man. Let your teammates know you love them and you do everything for them. And your teammates will run through a wall for you. As long as you show your teammates, you'll run through a wall for them and prove it over and over again. And if you feel like they know, let them know again. And if you feel like they should know already, let them know again. Because team is everything. Team is everything. Team is absolutely everything. We got to be blessed when we have our teams available, So, with all that being said, yeah, man, that's back to this debate. I really just think Trump, while Biden had an amazing showing, said a lot of very key important things, and he made Trump look a little silly, especially when it comes to, police justice and reforms. Definitely made him look silly in those areas. But I don't know, man. I'm not sold either way, to be honest. But when it came to this debate, I gotta give it to Donald Trump, man. I mean, what do you want me to say? God damn it, Lemon Ginger is amazing. he literally, he really listened to his corner. They said, be more composed. Light them up when you need to light them up. Be flashy when you need to be flashy, but be more reserved. And I would say for about 75% of the fight, 75% of the fight, he did that. Around the end, he got a little more loose, a little more godly, you know what I mean? A little more out there. But for the most of it, man, he allowed Biden to talk himself into some things that had he been just going off, Biden might not have even said. And he just allowed Biden to just talk himself there. And now, you know, those were big. Those were big moments. Just allowing Biden to talk himself there. He's like, oh. And then Biden was like, well, he's taking it. How do you take, I'm going to shut down the oil industry out of context? I mean, I don't care if you do it now or in 10 years. You're going to tell me we're going to be there in 10 years where we need to be, just having the infrastructure. Yes, we may have all the legislation. Yes, we may even have some of the facilities. We may have the technology. Do we have all the people trained that need to operate that machinery? Do we have all of the people in place? The tier of people, the management, the top tier of management, that respond directly to the ownership, the admin team that works with the management, to, you know what I mean, from payroll to, I mean, the list goes on and on of so many different, I mean, it's silly to think that we'll be where we need to be in the energy space in 10 years. It's not impossible. It's just not likely with the way our government moves legislation, because so much legislation would need to be moved to even give permission for the level of construction that would need to be done. So many people's homes would need to be set up for solar. So many people would need to convert to solar vehicles. I mean, we do understand this, yes. I mean, there would need to be a complete change in the country, and we can change fast. This country has changed very rapidly in the past 12 months. 2020 has showed us nothing but a season of change. So, while we can change fast, I'm not sure how willing people will be to make that leap in that industry. Now, who's to say something doesn't happen, which causes the necessity for a leap in the industry? Things can change, and that'll cause people to have to dig deep and just completely change the industry around overnight. But as things is presently constructed, I don't see that change happening without at least 30 to 50 years passing before we get everyone just completely solar and all the technology that we would need to operate as effectively as we do now, solar. Like, I can't imagine having to have a camera with battery packs that was filled solar. That'd be dope. Or would the camera itself just have solar panels? Probably be more practical to just have a battery pack that just has a solar panel on it, or multiple solar panels, and hopefully that would be enough of a charge, and it would work in enough of a rapid fashion where I could charge a couple of batteries to get, so I could get through, if I needed to, a 6 to 8 hour shoot. If I'm recording music at the studio and my house is on solar panels, is it dependable and reliable enough? Some people say yes, some people say no. The jury's still out. There's mixed reviews on the home panels. Some people say the home panels work just as fine. Do the commercial panels work at a proficient enough level? Would I have to get commercial panels for a studio? Even if I'm operating out of a home? Would that then make me have to pay a higher level operating cost as far as a bill's concerned? I mean, there's so many questions, but I've heard overall you save a ton of money when you do solar panels. So, I mean, I guess even if you had to have a more expensive plan because of how you're operating, it should save you money. Hopefully. So many questions to be answered, man, and I just don't know if we answer them all within enough time for it to be something that Biden could affect change on right now during this particular regime if he was to get in. Again, yes, he could pass legislation, he could put money toward it. Congress and the House could help him finance some initiatives, and definitely things could get done. Buildings could get done, people's houses could get renovated. Commercial facilities could get renovated to all run solarly. Schools could get renovated. Prisons could get renovated. Our military could get renovated to operate a lot of things from a solar capacity. Everybody's cars could get exchanged out. There could be some type of massive government-funded buyback program. I mean, all these things have some level of plausibility to them, some level of possibility to them, but the time frame, do you see that happening within the next 4 years? With everything else that also needs to adjust within these next 4 years? I don't know. Are people even going to be out and about like that within the next 1 year? I mean, you're talking about a lot of things, not even talking about trying to come back to 2022, 2023. I mean, what else is there to say? Through half of the possible Kamala Biden regime, while they're getting their feet wet and acclimated to being in a regime, they'd be dealing with a national emergency. That is, I don't know about you, but I don't know if that's really the time that they're going to be able to get energy initiatives done. Because they're going to have to focus so much of their energy, their resources, their manpower, their brightest minds on figuring out the most prevalent issues. And when you have potentially a pandemic-like situation, which is ravaging the entire country, the entire globe, to varying levels, I've heard some very positive things about some countries, particularly Madagascar, with their COVID organics formula. I've heard that they really haven't been as ravaged by as many cases. They've had less than 500 deaths out of a country of over 27 million people. And about as of right now, less than 20,000 people have been reported sick. Of course, other people could have not been that sick or not been diagnosed, been asymptomatic, what have you. So that is definitely possible, and that always has to be considered. The numbers are not going to be 1,000% accurate, but Madagascar is reported to be having a lot of success with their COVID organics treatment that they've recommended to all of the students, all of the parents, all the teachers. They pretty much had a wide. They've pretty much almost mandated it. I'm not even gonna lie, almost mandated it across the country. Some people have opted out of taking it. I haven't heard what's happened to those people, but I do see that they've had an extremely low reported rate of death. Of course, they may not be reporting everything. What country does report everything completely on the bill? I don't know. I don't work in any country's offices. I don't work in any administrations. You know what I mean? So I can't tell you. But, if the World Health Organization and the Center for Disease Control Africa are there doing trials with them, which they have been, as reports show, multiple trials have been done for the COVID organics formula. And, it looks like they're having positive results. So I wish Madagascar good luck with that. And they are also opening up as has been reported previously, a massive mass manufacturing factory so that they can mass produce now the COVID organics herbal-based treatment for the spread of this plague, virus, disease, whatever name it is under at the moment. I'm not sure. I know it was initially considered a virus, but I know people have been transitioning to more considering it a disease as of late, which is really, I don't understand any of this. All I can say is consult with your doctor or your medical professionals And, you know, just stay healthy, stay well, keep your immune system up, keep your exercises up, keep your spirit up, keep yourself in positive mindset. Good vibes only, good vibes only, good vibes only. We can beat everything, guys. We can beat everything. We are that strong. We are that brave. We are that powerful. We are that omnipotent. We are that forceful. We are that dynamic. We are that beautiful. We are that courageous. We are that strong. We can beat anything. We just have to focus on beating it and staying strong and staying powerful and staying woke. Stay woke. Boom, 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 boom. Stay woke. Boom, 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 boom. Stay woke. For real though, guys, just you know, stay positive. Keep it light, because some of these situations is really going to drain on us and bring us down, and you're going to see people really lose it, unfortunately. But we're not going to do that. You know what I mean? Because we all flamethrowers here. We fire starters. And when you're a fire starter and when you're a flamethrower, you know how to control fire. You know how to keep fire under wraps when need be. And we know when it's time for the fire to burn and when it's time for the fire to just be easy. And I think over these next 2 months, it's really just time for the fire to be easy. Because things is going to get crazy. Fire starters, be easy. Be easy, fire starters. Ain't nobody who don't want no problems with you. Don't be out there wanting no problems with nobody. Just be easy, fire starters. Be easy, flamethrowers. Be easy, flamethrowers. Be easy. Because it could get real fast. This is Phantm Phuego. This is his Ghetto point of view. Bring you the news, views, previews, and reviews. Just a twist of his Ghetto point of view. Sundays and Wednesdays we get to it like it's nothing to it. You know how we do it. Shouts to Notch too, aka Quiz Chandler. I apologize for the mispronunciation. Shout out to Quiz Chandler. Check him out. He's got his new single 9 to 5 or Die. I'm participating in that. That's dope contest. What else can I say, man? It's real dope vibes. Everything's been real cool. Everything's been really dope, man. Check his page out. Check my page out. Phantm Phuego. No O in Phantm. Phantm Phuego on IG to see my submission into his 9 to 5 or Die challenge. Should be dope. Good vibes. Yeah, I don't really know what else to say, man. On that presidential tip, I just feel like there's so many things I can say, to be honest, about it. I feel like both sides is kind of trying to play a little bit. Both sides definitely got game going on. Both sides got their own hustle. They getting to. And I think it's just as people voting, we got to make sure we get our interests taken care of as well. Because at the end of the day, the United States is very much a place of dreams and wonder. And the fulfillment of your dreams often comes when you understand, as our Commander-in-Chief says, the proverbial art of the deal. And both of these men understand the art of the deal. They negotiate deals all the time, as do their vice presidents. Kamala and Mike negotiate deals all the time. So they understand the art of the deal. They understand give and take. They understand one hand wash the other, both wash the face. They understand quid pro quo. But sometimes it's argued that us as the regular citizens shouldn't want quid pro quo, and we shouldn't exercise quid pro quo, especially when it comes to our voting, our collective voting, our voting power, influencing elections. We shouldn't do it as a quid pro quo. And I don't know if I agree with that. I don't know if we shouldn't do things as a quid pro quo. I don't know if we shouldn't expect something for our vote. They're getting something for our vote. They get paid, they get a salary, they get to be in a prestigious position. Finances to pay for a cabinet of people they can hire at their discretion. The ability to influence all types of other political situations throughout their sphere of reach and control. Sometimes even beyond that. So, understanding you giving somebody that much, I mean, wouldn't it just be reasonable? Understood that you may want something, just something for your efforts, for your time, for your support, for your participation, for your energy, for the time, for your expenses, shouldn't you want something? Anything at all? Or should you just be doing things for the good of just being good? I don't know if you should ever do anything for the good of just doing it. That is not something you can afford to do. And when I say that, what do I mean? Like when you give a homeless person some money in the street, you had it, so you gave it to them. Beautiful. You're not worried about that. When you loan a family member $2,000 and you're expecting to get that back, or some type of agreement is made where you will also benefit, you're expecting something in return, whether it be your money back, whether it be some type of new arrangement where you're investing in them somehow in whatever their initiative they're trying to get into. You expect some type of return on that investment. That is not just a donation. When we give our votes collectively to a particular party, to a particular candidate, to a particular regime, to a particular movement, when we give our time, hand out flyers, spread messages online, do promo campaigns, etc., for a particular campaign, for a particular party, for a particular candidate, that candidate, if they win, will be given so many things by so many different people. The first people who that candidate should pay back are the people that got that candidate in office. And the way that should be is by whatever agreement was written in stone. Not literal stone, of course, but like written down black and white in paper. Whatever y'all agreed upon should be done. And if it's not done, you should be able to take that particular candidate who is now in office to court and potentially have the court reverse that candidate being in that seat because they are not holding up their end of the bargain. Candidates know this is how the game is played, but for some reason certain communities are shunned for trying to play the game like that. Certain communities are shunned for playing that game. They get you talk to them. Like, I'm not even, let's just put the cards on the table. In the black community, we not supposed to play that game. We supposed to be like, oh, it's just okay to just vote for nothing. Excuse me? Vote for nothing? My rent ain't nothing. Groceries ain't nothing. Sneakers ain't nothing. Socks. It don't cost nothing to shower. It don't cost nothing to use the internet. None of these things are free. So why should you get a bunch of things and the people who help you get to that illustrious position are rewarded with nothing? That to me just doesn't make sense. That to me just doesn't sound reasonable. That to me just doesn't seem right. I do not understand that. I don't get where people come off with these ideas that things like that make sense to them. To me, it sounds freaking nuts, to be honest. You can tell me I'm bugging all you want. His ghetto point of view at gmail.com. HISGHETT. Oh, his ghetto point of view at gmail.com. Once again, HISGHETTOPOINT. His ghetto point of OFView, VIEW. His ghetto point of view at gmail.com. Let me know what you're thinking, because if you feel that there should not be a quid pro quo system, if you feel that it is okay for people to get you to do things for them at such an illustrious level and not guarantee you in concrete, plain English what they will do for you, then what are we saying? What are we saying? What are we talking about? Like, I could give the perfect example, and I'm sure y'all all know where I'm going with this. The contract with Black America that Ice Cube is doing. Why would it be wrong for someone to just say, hey, I think we have done enough. I owe you, and I'll get you on the next one, and I'll pay you back later. I think we have gotten enough IOUs to build up enough paper houses, and those paper houses keep blowing right down. Them paper houses keep blowing right down. They ain't got no solid foundation. They get wet when it rains. They can't keep you warm when it's cold. Them paper houses keep blowing right down. We need a house with some cement and some bricks, and we need a solid foundation, and we need it to be built solidly on a foundation that cannot move and cannot shift. Or what are we doing this for? What are we doing this for? How many times do we keep repeating the same action and expecting a different result? Ain't that insanity? Ain't that you sounding crazy? When do you think you crazy? How many times do you have to repeat the same action before you be like, yo, I'm really tripping. I'm really tweaking. This makes no sense. I think I'm losing my mind. Going crazy, losing my mind. Yeah. Losing my mind. Think I'm losing my mind. Going crazy. Think I'm losing my mind. I done tripped up. I done lost it. Yeah. Any little thing sets me off. Am I alone? No. Do you go crazy too? I bet you do. Am I alone? No. Do you go crazy too? I know you do. So let's go crazy together. Yeah. Listen, that sounds fun and all. If we about to go burn a bunch of stuff then. But that is so counterproductive without a real plan. Without an end game. To just have the same action repeated over and over and over. Even anarchy over and over and over without a moving point kind of is defeating itself. Because what's the game? What's the game plan? But a riot is the message of the unheard, baby. And if you got people rioting over and over and over that you oppressing, they ain't gonna have a game plan because they ain't really being given time to think. Their stomachs is grumbling. And if you have your people doing that over and over and over and over and over throughout history, you know, history will remember you for the tyrant you are. You may make your people look bad in the present, but history will remember you for the tyrant you are. Yeah. Life is a funny way of evening out. So, we're going to jump into a break real quick. We'll be right back. It's a great show so far. I like this. Let's get to it. Yeah. We are back, guys. We are back. This has been quite a show so far. It's really dope. And I always owe that to all of you. Major drug maker Purdue admits guilt in the oxycodone situation. They pled guilty to 3 felony counts, violating kickback statuses. And then there's been a settlement. They'll have to pay a fine of about $8.3 billion. There are also tons and tons and tons of lawsuits going on, personal families suing Purdue and the Sackler family that runs Purdue, and Purdue will have to be broken up. It's a whole big ordeal. The least made $300 billion off of selling OxyContin, some estimates are. So some people say the $8 billion is not nearly enough for all of the heartache and trauma they've caused so many families in making this drug, and there were some allegations to mass production of the drug, and violating trade laws, etc., which caused there to be such an overabundance and an overflow of it in the streets, where you have doctors writing these prescriptions for people who really don't need it because they have such an abundance of it at their disposal. So the trickle-down effect of them producing it at such a high rate, Trump calls this a public health crisis, and many people do feel the punishment is a slap on the wrist, but we'll see what happens with the civil settlement. Though money will never bring anybody their family members back, hopefully it helps people get some of the healing that they need, and people can start to heal and move forward. So wish everybody the best with that situation. I personally know how bad opiates can be, which is why I'm a big proponent of medical marijuana, and I use medical marijuana regularly for my pain and ailments and my injuries that I've recently had and the surgeries that I've had. And if I had to constantly take opiates, I don't know where I would be right now. So I definitely understand how that goes. Quibi, after just 6 months of being up and running, thinking that they were really going to capitalize on this time frame of everybody being home, is actually having to shut down. Even though they initially brought in $1.3 billion in investments, faced with a ton of competition from companies like YouTube, Amazon Prime, and other streaming networks, they just weren't able to compete, and they are looking for buyers. It was definitely a good idea, but I actually, me being a film guy, I wasn't a fan of the 10-minute pieces. I felt that it was not enough. I felt like while you can have segments of shows like that and you can do stuff like that for social media, I don't know if we're ready. And music videos, interviews, things like that can be 10 minutes, but I don't know if we're ready just for our television programming to only be 10 minutes. Not yet. Great idea, but swing and a miss. In other news, T.I. turns down the battle versus Busta Rhymes, and I think T.I. is full of... Everybody can tell me I'm bugging for this. He was citing generational differences, saying that he respects 50's, he respects all the New York rappers. He really has a ton of respect for Busta Rhymes, and it's just he felt that the generational gap was too much. I personally think Busta Rhymes was going to serve him on a plate. He ain't want that. You see, because T.I. thing is, he's a lyrical guy. But if you compare T.I. to other lyrical people, he might not seem as lyrical. You know what I'm saying? Because you get somebody like Busta who can hit you with the silly with the 9 milli with the dilly, yo. Like, Busta got so many. If you really want to party with me, you ain't got we trust you. We murder rust. The danger rust. He just got too many of those. Past the Cavossier. Busta got too many records, man. Busta got too many records. And then if he start playing duos, that joint he got with Janet Jackson, you better roll. Roll when we do that. Stopping your baby, now we stopping your baby. Busta will get in his bag. And T.I., listen, T.I. got joints. You can have whatever you like. Yeah, you can have whatever you like. Yeah. He got joints. Rubber Band Man, wild as the Taliban. 9 in my right, 45 in my other hand. Don't get me wrong, T.I. got records. But I don't think he can hold it with Busta. Man, I think he opened up his mouth. Oh, don't nobody in New York want it with me. Nobody in New York want it with you? Bro, stop it. Because if Jay-Z would have said, let's go, you would have ran away. Jay-Z ain't even peek his head up for this one. I don't think you're going to see Jay until it's somebody like Drake. That's the level it would have to be. Or Yeezy. It would have to be somebody up there for Jay to come out. I don't think that's going to happen. I would have loved to see Jay versus DMX, honestly, because I feel DMX got the catalog. But the battle that him and Snoop Dogg did was amazing. But I feel DMX got the catalog where I don't even think T.I. went with DMX. Like, yo, T.I., go somewhere, brother, because you writing a check you really can't cash, brother. You are writing a check you really, really, really have no business trying to cash in New York City. I don't know what is on this brother's mind. I don't know, like, who would he, with somebody who would be a good match for T.I. from New York? Somebody else that's like a 50, that's not really a lyrical dude that just has, big records. A Fat Joe. That would be a match for T.I. And I don't mean that no disrespect to Fat Joe, but Fat Joe ain't the spitter that a big pun, R.I.P. to the GOAT, or even the spitter that Remy Ma is. He just not. You know what I mean? So like Remy Ma got records, but Remy Ma records got bars. You know what I'm saying? So I don't think T.I. knew what he was talking about. He was just talking crazy because he really don't want that smoke. Like if he peaked who would he battle out here? I don't even think he could do a good one with Cameron. I think Cameron would ghost him. I think Cameron got too many hits for him. And I mean hits that what is T.I. talking about? Like, who does he really feel that's a top tier artist? Because he's a top tier artist, right? So who does he feel that's a top tier artist out here in New York that he wants to smoke with? You don't want to smoke with Busta. You don't want to smoke with Jay. You don't want to smoke with Cam. He talking about he want to smoke with 50, but I don't really feel he want to smoke with 50. Like, who would he go against? Again, like a Fat Joe maybe? Who else is a big camp like that? I don't think he wants to smoke with A$AP Rocky at all. I mean, A$AP Rocky is still young in his career, but he has such an elaborate array of hit records already. I don't think he wants to smoke with A$AP Rocky. Like, I'm trying to think about this. I think T.I. needs to just stop and go home because he's sounding crazy. And the more I think about it, the more crazy he sounds to me. The more I think about it, the crazier the man comes across. It makes no sense. It's really wild to me that he even thinks that this is possible. It's really wild to me that he even thinks that this is possible. I think that was his nice way of bowing out and realizing he bit off more than he could chew. And next time he need to shut his mouth and realize who he talking to. In other news, a teen is causing. I'm gonna hold on before I get to that. An 8-year-old girl, according to BBC, pulled a 15-year-old sword out of a lake. And girl pulls a 15-year-old sword from a lake in Sweden. According to BBC News, an 8-year-old girl found a pre-Viking era sword while swimming in a lake in Sweden during the summer. Saga. Wow, your name is Saga, and you found a sword. Yeah, this is crazy. Saga Venicek found the relic in the Vidostern Lake while at her family's holiday home in the Jönköping and Jönköping County. I'm destroying that name. The sword was initially reported to be 1,000 years old, but experts at the local museum now believe it may date to around 1,500 years ago. It's not every day that you step on a sword in a lake. Mikael Nordstrom from the museum said. Nordstrom, like Nordstrom Rack. And Saga Venicek said, I noticed something that felt like a stick. The level of water was extremely low at the time, owing to a drought, which is probably why Saga uncovered the ancient weapon. I felt something in the water and lifted it up. Then there was a handle, and I went to tell my dad that it looked like a sword. Saga told the broadcaster Sveriges Television, excuse me. Saga's father, Andy Venicek, told the English language website The Local he initially thought his father found an unusual stick or a branch in the water. It was only after he asked a friend to take a closer look that he discovered that it was likely to be an ancient relic. The local museum where the sword is now being kept said that it was extremely well preserved. Further excavations, according to the Jönköping County Museum, have revealed more ancient items lurk at the bottom of this lake. Saga's discovery led the museum and the local council to carry out further excavations, finding a brooch from the 3rd century. The Jönköping County Museum said that its investigation of the lake is unfinished and it could turn up even more ancient items. Well, shouts to Saga. Sound like you went on your first adventure. It's like the Princess and Zelda. I'm sorry. I couldn't help myself. It definitely shouts to Saga on that. That was dope. In other news, LeBron James gets the last laugh. LeBron James gets the last laugh. LeBron James gets the last laugh. LeBron James to help reveal new Hummer EV during the World Series. And those who remember, LeBron had got in trouble in high school for the Hummer. His mom's renting the Hummer, and now he's getting the Hummer deal. Look at that. We already know that LeBron James will be rooting for the Los Angeles Dodgers in tonight's game of the World Series. against Tampa Bay Rays, but James will also have a larger role during the game's presentation this evening on Fox. James, as he was during the Super Bowl, will be the voice of GMC's new Hummer EV. James, who back in high school days became synonymous with the vehicle while driving the H2 version, has been teasing the reveal tonight of the new electronic Hummer, which will happen during tonight's series. James was a previously endorser for Kia, but this partnership with GMC is a new deal and also has a full circle element, being that the Hummer was part of a big start of the story back when he was coming into the public eye. Now he's a champion for the fourth time after going to his 10th NBA Finals. He's leading the NBA's most storied franchise of the modern era, helping the Lakers win their NBA best-time 17th championship. Shouts to LeBron James. In other LeBron news, LeBron James was hyping up his son's Bryce post moves on Sunday, while Bronny James, as LeBron's eldest son, generates a great deal of hype with his play on the court and the packed gyms that used to follow his teams before the pandemic. LeBron's youngest son also has some skills. On Sunday, the folks at Slam posted a video of Bryce Maximus doing work on the court, including some slick post moves, while his dad has developed the game in the post. But Bronny is showing some Kevin McHale-like footwork at a very young age, which his dad is hyping as only the beginning. Bryce is 13 years old and has skills beyond the incredible impersonation of his father. It's unclear what will happen with high school sports across the country, but Sierra Canyon does have some games scheduled for the fall already, including a marquee matchup against the number one ranked recruit Imani Bates in Dallas, Texas. This matchup will be part of a tournament put on by Lakers guard Danny Green. Very nice. So definitely shouts to Bryce Maximus, shouts to Bronny James, and the whole James family. So yeah, that's just, some LeBron news. Shouts to the LeBron Wire, USA Today, Eric Garcia Gunderson for these amazing stories. I apologize. Definitely slip of the tongue. Eric Garcia Gunderson for these amazing stories on the LeBron Wire. Catch more news on LeBron on the LeBron Wire on USA Today. Sadly, in other news, New York Times reports Stephen Barnes of Celino and Barnes fame passes away at 61 years old. Very sad story, guys. Very sad story. R.I.P. A jingle helped them transform a 2-partner practice in Buffalo into a 50-lawyer personal injury behemoth in New York State and California. Mr. Barnes died in a plane crash. Deeper understanding, better solutions. One venerable law firm promises a broader perspective. Another pledges characters come through, still another vows. In less than a generation, though, Ross M. Celino Jr. and Stephen E. Barnes transformed their 2-partner outpost in Buffalo into perhaps the most famous personal injury law firm in America, not by invoking lofty slogans, but by blitzing the airwaves with visceral advertising. Injury, head-on, T-bone, rear end, an indelible callback phone number. Celino and Barnes, injury attorneys, 800-888-8888. Come on, who didn't know that, man? R.I.P. to Stephen Barnes. All of it together made the 2 lawyers' names and faces. Mr. Barnes was the bald one, familiar to almost any in New York and California for years, who for years heard Celino and Barnes radio spots, watched their television commercials, or encountered their billboards. It didn't last, however. In 2017, continued grumbling between the partners about nepotism and mismanagement finally boiled over bitterly in court. Mr. Salino sued to dissolve their professional corporation and open his own family firm. Mr. Barnes countersued charging trademark infringement. The divorce was finalized this summer, with each man regrouping with relatives and loyal employees in his own firm. Last Friday, Mr. Barnes was piloting his TBM 700 turboprop 6-seater plane from Manchester, New Hampshire, back to Buffalo for his mother's birthday when the aircraft crashed near Pembroke, about 20 miles east of Buffalo. Niagara International Airport. Mr. Barnes, 61, was killed. So was his only passenger, his niece, Elizabeth D. Barnes, 32, a lawyer with the Federal Department of Health and Human Services. R.I.P. to Elizabeth Barnes as well. Federal officials were investigating the cause of the crash. In a statement, Mr. Salino called Mr. Barnes a fearless advocate for his clients. His passing is a significant loss for the legal community. R.I.P., man. R.I.P. That's rough. I'm a New Yorker, so it's like somebody you grew up with. That's crazy. But anyway, in one other interesting article, this teen causes an uproar over teachers' fake jewelry in school. I don't know if you guys have noticed, but a lot of kids have been getting these jewelry detectors and going around testing a friend's jewelry and testing, other people's, randomly just testing people's jewelry. And this high school student sparks chaos by testing teachers' engagement rings to see if they're real. High school student has been wreaking havoc among his teachers with a $16 gadget that can supposedly tell whether a diamond is real. The TikTok star, now on the rise, known as the Diamond Tester Kid, uploaded his first video in a now 8-part series on September 21st. And this now viral clip, which has been viewed over 4.9 times, and this is an In the Know article by Alex Lasker. Thanks, Alex Lasker, for this great coverage. And a now viral clip, which has been viewed over 4.9 million times. Go ahead, Diamond Tester Kid. The team uses a diamond selector 2 to test if one of his teacher's wedding rings is a real diamond or a simulant stone, such as a cubic zirconium. To be clear, there's nothing wrong with a non-diamond ring. It's just that you probably should not lie to your future betrothed on the very day you get engaged. You think it's real? The TikToker asked an unsuspecting teacher. Yeah, of course, she replies. Let me test it, says the teen before touching the tip of the ring. The selected two. His teachers are just testing their jewelry? What? Now, I've wanted to do this to people. Like, I would see people with beautiful rings on the train, and like, I used to work, background story, guys. I used to work at, a couple dope pawn shops around New York City. So I've really gotten into looking at jewelry and diamonds and, understanding the different levels of jewelry, the different levels of diamonds, from all the way from, DVVS, VVS1, VVS2, etc. Stones having fractures, how the light would fragment and breaking the stones, and imperfections and spots and blemishes and stones. And so I like to look at diamonds and, really study them and see why they would be worth certain amounts of money versus others, which could be really large stones and look crappy, versus small, almost perfect stones, which would be worth, a lot of money. But I usually tell people, just stay clear of stones and just get, precious metals, because, you can't really go wrong in that regard. But let me test it, says the team before touching the tip of the diamond selector 2 to the ring's large center stone. Unfortunately, the tool determines the stone is not a real diamond, which naturally the teacher does not seem too thrilled about. Oh no. In another one of the Diamond Tester Kid's videos, which has been viewed over 9.7 million times, the teen enters another one of his teacher's classrooms to put her ring to the test. Hey, Miss T. Hey, Miss T. He says, you married, right? After she says yes and confirms she is wearing her wedding ring, the teen asks her if she thinks it's real. I hope so, she replied. Sadly for Miss T, the device rules the ring to be fake. She did not seem very happy about the experiment in a subsequent call to her husband. I got this kid in my room telling me that my ring isn't real, she said on the call, which was slyly captured by the TikToker. Are you kidding me right now? Is it real or is it not real? Thankfully, not every one of the diamond testing clips showcases a loss. One of the videos, a teacher puts forward 3 of her rings in a bracelet, and 3 of the items end up being detected as genuine diamonds. One of the rings appears to be a semi-precious stone like aquamarine, which the tool does not claim to be able to detect. This is crazy. Still, TikTok users are truly shaken by the video series, with many expressing concern for the future of the teachers' marriages. You the reason why they getting divorced, one user wrote. Why do you expose her husband like that, commented another. You just ended a marriage, said a third. Despite how stressful the videos are to watch, they still may be a silver lining here. According to one TikToker who said she used to work at a jewelry store, tools like the Diamond Selector 2 can be finicky and may only give accurate results under certain conditions. I'm not saying that it won't work, it just will not give you the most accurate results, the user commented. There's also a certain way you have to hold the diamond tester. So for the sake of all his teachers and their husbands, we certainly hope the diamond tester kid was merely holding the device wrong. Oh man. Shout to ncaa, shout to Alex Lasker, and shout to the diamond tester kid for getting these videos, and for his teachers for being such good sports. And I hope they husbands, which is just, like I've personally used diamond testers, so I know if you don't hold the diamond tester right, it may not give you a reading. I've never seen the diamond testers that I've used say something was not a diamond that was a diamond. As that fair often, it can happen sometimes if the diamond is dirty and stuff, and then if you clean it, you can get a better reading. But if you test it in multiple places on the stone, you should get some type of a reading, unless it's super dirty. Unless it's super dirty, then you may not get an accurate reading. But yeah, that other TikToker might be trying to just save these people's marriages, because those testers can be pretty accurate. Nothing is 100%, but those testers can be fairly accurate. And wow. So that is very interesting. And this is his Ghetto point of view, bringing you the reviews, previews, the news, views, previews, and reviews. Just a twist of my Ghetto point of view. Wednesdays and Sundays we get to it like there's nothing to it. Thank you guys so much for rocking and vibing with the show. I'm going to get out of here for today. You guys have been absolutely amazing. You guys have been absolutely amazing. This is just what we do. We're doing it. Oh, guys, before I get out of here, I'm checking out a new show, and you should be checking it out too. La Revolucion on Netflix. This is my review. It's shot well, produced well. I love the writing. It's set in 1787 France. It's a viral outbreak that then caused the zombie apocalypse. There's some dark magic going on, a little voodoo in there too. I'm a big fan of the show so far, guys. Really enjoy it. I really enjoy it. I've been watching that, and I've also been watching this other show called The Barrier. They're both really great shows, kind of dealing with a dystopian society. One set back in 1787 France, one more future times. Both really dope. Check them out. They're both Netflix exclusives. The Barrier and La Revolucion. Amazing shows. Y'all see where my mind is at right now. I hope you guys is getting ready, staying ready. Because if you stay ready, you ain't got to get ready. I hope your jobs is coming back. If you lost your job, I hope that things are rolling back out for you. I hope that your kids are doing well in school. I hope that if your kids are having to do remote learning, the technology's working, the Wi-Fi's moving smooth. I hope nobody messing with your kids while they at home, because that's a whole nother thing. You got some people out here really taking advantage of the fact that these kids is at home and that the parents still got to go to work, and it's absolutely disgusting. It's absolutely disgusting. So I hope that your kids are being safe. I hope that your kids is being, able to get good food, and everything is going well, and your families are staying healthy and happy and positive. And we're going to get through these hard times, man. We're going to get through these tough times, because we stronger than we ever been. We stronger than we ever been. We warriors. We warriors. We stay ready, so we ain't got to get ready. We stay ready, so we ain't got to get ready. We stay ready, so we ain't got to get ready. Love and light, gang. Peace, love and light. It's your boy Phantm Phuego. Catch you guys on catch you guys on Wednesday, where I'm going to have a really dope guest coming through. It's going to be a really great show. You guys enjoy your week so far. And, we're going to get to it like we never lost it. A few days. Dig with me, get with me. Stay up. See you then. Take it easy. Hey, 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 hey. Take it easy. Hey, 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 hey. Have a good day, y'all.